So when we play a game, there's many things to do in it, whether that just be simply playing it all the way through to beat the game, enjoyfully watching the cutscenes that the game has, or just simply taking a minute out to absorb the atmosphere and the music, or even getting together with friends to play the game in multiplayer or co-op, whether that be online or in real life. But I guess my point is that although people can get the same exact games, they can't get the same exact experience out of them. Whether that has to do with how much the person plays the game or what specific parts they play of it. Like if someone buys a game solely for its multiplayer and doesn't play the story mode. Or someone skipping over extra bonus missions that they don't need to do. But I guess my ultimate point is just that whenever you play a game, unless you're going in to play it 100% all the way through, there's going to be some parts of it that you miss out on. And well, I kinda just want to go through some of those things I didn't get to see when I was a kid, and some of which I still haven't done today, honestly, as well as go over the reasons why I never managed to do so, starting off here with probably what's the most infamous on my list, that being never meeting Yoshi on top of the castle roof in Super Mario 64, or in other words, not getting all 120 stars. And well, Super Mario 64 is a legendary classic from, I would imagine, many people's childhoods, with many huge worlds to explore, or at least they seemed huge as a kid. Honestly, nowadays they're quite quaint. But regardless, hidden within each world was a set of stars you needed to get, with 8 normal stars based off of a description or specific mission that you had to do, whether that be something as simple as beating a boss or winning a race, or something challenging like needing to get to the top of a pyramid or a gigantic snowman, or even trying to do something hidden like trying to find like specific, I don't even know what you call them, like in Big Small World where you need to find like the 5 boxes in order to get a star to spawn, or in the same world go to the small version of it, then go to the top and ground pound the box so it drains the water, so then you go back to the big one and then you get the Wiggler boss fight. And then on top of all those stars, there's the extra ones like getting 100 coins in every level, or finding the hidden stars within the castle itself, as well as the hidden bonus levels. And well, all things considered, I have done most of it, with the highest count on one of my save files being 114 stars. And well, that's really only 6 stars away from finally achieving this goal. Legitimately, I might add, because I wouldn't be surprised if there are ways to get to the roof of the castle without using the cannon, which I could do, but that would kind of feel like a hollow victory. But anyway, I should probably say why exactly I didn't get this as a kid or even today. And well, as a kid, I kinda just saw certain things as a bit too difficult for me. Like, I'm pretty sure that one of the ones I'm missing is in that secret level next to Tick-Tock Clock, where you need to fly from like cloud to cloud. And well, I just sucked at flying in this game, back then and even today. I could just never get the hang of it. And then I think one of the other ones I'm missing is getting 100 coins in Rainbow Ride, which that level is just hard in general, and then adding needing to get 100 coins in it just makes it harder. And then the only other ones I could think of missing is maybe getting the 8 coins in the Bowser levels, but I'm honestly not 100% sure on that one. But anyway, now we move on to why exactly I never got this done as an adult. And although I will say that I have like very slowly chipped away at it, since I could have sworn I was at like 112, but no. And well, in all honesty, the best solution I can come up with is just no more interest. I played the hell out of this game when I was a kid, and I just feel like my time has passed with it. Although I guess if I really wanted to, I could just sit down and finally get this game done and over with. But I don't see that happening in the foreseeable future. But anyway, that wraps up the first of these, so now we're gonna move on from one N64 classic to another, that being GoldenEye 007. And while this is another legendary game in the genre of first-person shooters, and it would go on to define one of my favorite genres, with you running around the missions, shooting at everyone, and trying to complete all the objectives. Or the famous multiplayer component where you got together with your friends and tried to kill each other. But anyway, the part that I didn't get to see in this game was the 2 extra bonus missions, which were unlocked after beating all the missions on the hardest difficulty. And well, all things considered, this is very much like the last case where I was really close to doing it but just never finished it, since I think I only need 2 missions left, or 3 missions, I don't know which it is. And well, in all honesty, this one wasn't really a skill issue. As a kid, I could virtually beat just about any mission on 00 Agent. There were just a select few that I couldn't do at all, whether it be at the end of Train not knowing what to do in the Natalia hostage situation, or just not being able to protect her properly at the end of Control, or just simply not being able to see anything in Jungle. So yeah, because of these few missions, I never got to the bonus levels. As a kid at least, so did I ever go back to beat it as an adult? Well, I suppose the answer is both a yes and a no. No, because I never did it on the original hardware. But yes, because I always joke to myself that since I'm an achievement hunter, that if this game ever actually finally came out on Xbox, that I would play through the entire thing and get all the achievements, which obviously would include getting these bonus missions done. And well, that's exactly what happened. I finally beat these missions, although I don't know if I want to count it because it was done with like modern amenities. You know, better draw distance and lighting, so I could actually see what the hell was happening in Jungle and Statue. But as for the levels themselves, they were pretty good. Although I gotta say, they were definitely, like, easily the hardest levels in the game, with, like, literally all the enemies having assault rifles. And then there's the other level where you need to, like, trial and error the pattern to get the golden gun. Really tough stuff here. Alright, with that one done, let's move on to something a bit more obscure. That being two specific SpongeBob games that I played as a kid. Battle for Bikini Bottom and Revenge of the Flying Dutchman, which for the most part are pretty well-known games. So then why did I label them as obscure? Because I'm not talking about the console versions, I'm actually talking about the Game Boy Advance versions, which the ports of these versions tried to do what the games in 3D did, but now in 2D. But anyway, that brings us back to the question of what exactly did I miss out with these games? Well, if I'm being completely honest, more or less the entirety of both games. Since all I remember of me playing it as a kid is just going to the password section, and just continuously typing in random passwords until I got something to work. And most of the time it was always a password that just had all the levels and bosses unlocked, so I didn't have to play the actual game. And maybe I would like play a level or two, or definitely the bosses, as well as the final levels to see the endings. But the simple bottom line was just I didn't play these games properly, and I wouldn't do so until many years later, when I finally decided to sit down and see if these games were actually worth anything. Which is to say, yes, I have beaten these games as an adult, and if I remember correctly, I played these games back to back. And for some reason, Battle for Bikini Bottom was much more puzzle heavy, which meant that I got like stuck in the levels for longer, while Revenge was much more straightforward. But I mean, really nothing to write home about with these games. They're just your typical 2D get from point A to point B type of games. Although I think in my old review for Revenge I said that the Game Boy version was better than the console version, which is a statement I should probably rescind now. But yeah, ultimately these were just a couple games that I finally got to see what they actually were, instead of just randomly hopping all around them. But anyway, that covers that. Now to move on to my final one here, since I was originally going to do 5, but I'm surprised at how long this video has gotten so far. But anyway, this one involves one of my first GTA games, which was a part of the GTA triple pack that I bought. And well, honestly, I actually have something from each of these 3 individual games. But since I want to try and make 3 parts of this video topic, I'm only going to talk about one right now, and then cover the other 2 in the other parts. So I guess there's no better way than to go in order here, especially more so since this is easily the most egregious of the 3. That is because, when it comes to GTA 3, I just simply never beat the game. Yeah, the game that gave GTA its identity, and revolutionized the whole gaming industry as a whole, with the game's mechanics and open world that you could just, like, spread pure chaos with. And well, for the most part, I just didn't get in on it. I mean, I did play it, it's just I never got that far into it. With like the most amount of progress I ever made was getting off the first island. So then why exactly did I not play the game? Well, there are 4 major reasons that come to mind. First is just a personal pet peeve of mine, which is just the simple fact that this game has no map, and all you have is your mini-map to try and figure out where the hell you are. Or I suppose there's the paper map, but I just never liked the idea of needing to like actually find out where you are on it like it was real life. There should have just been an in-game map that showed you where you were and where all the stores are. But then I suppose the argument against that is that you could just learn the map itself by like driving around, which leads me to my second point, that being I just didn't like the style of this game, with everything looking so dull and gray and repetitive, and then add in the music on the radio stations kind of being sucky. Which brings me to my third point of I had the other two games, San Andreas and Vice City, and well, I just preferred playing those games. They were funner, they had better music, they had better maps, and they just played better overall. But I suppose at the end of the day, it's my fourth reason that's the big deal breaker here. Yeah, no, GTA 3 kicks your shit in, with stupidly hard missions, cops that just keep ramming your car, the cars themselves feeling like they're made of tinfoil, like seriously, they explode so easily, not having a map to properly know where you're going, coming into contact with an enemy who has a shotgun and just immediately dying, and so much more. It's easy to see why my kid self gave up on this game. So then, have I ever returned to it to try and beat it as an adult? Actually, yes, several times. I would end up beating like the first set of missions and then make it as far as I did as a kid, but then just never return. Until semi-recently I finally decided I want to beat this game, since as of then it was basically the only GTA game I hadn't finished yet. And I was really serious about getting this done, so much to the point that I actually bought a new copy of the game because the one I was playing on didn't work. And so I decided to restart the game for one final time and finally get it all over with. And well, that's exactly what I did. I gritted my teeth and beat all the missions in the game, and finally gave Catalina her death blow after all these years. And again, man, it was not an easy task, with some of these missions being so genuinely difficult that it made me wonder why Rockstar made them so hard in the first place. But anyway, that was that, and I finished the game. And well, I definitely gotta say, now that I've done that, I have a better respect for it. I do actually like it. Although having played it last definitely makes me not like it as much. Since it being the first 3D GTA, it really is just nothing more than the base for what the series would build upon. But anyway, that wraps up my fourth non-experience as well as the video as a whole. And this was a fun topic to go over. And like I said, I plan on doing it at least 2 more times. So if you enjoyed this video, I hope to see you when those come out. So yeah, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed.